So you'd be dealing with people. Target down.
Damn, I'm still cool as a cucumber. Those game faces on. Don't worry!
Namaste programs! Welcome back to Citizen Sleeper. The sleeper of the citizens. Keep going. Let's keep going. Let's not muck about. Let's just get into it. Continue the cycle 47. Fading. Find and Kita a ship mine. Well, we need to wait for this nonsense. Is that not correct? Nothing else to do. Maybe I do start this flotilla. Why have I got upgrades available? Ancient nodes. I think I was going to wait for this. I was going to go to +2 here. Yeah, that's what I was doing. I remember now. Vaguely. I vaguely remember. Oh, that's next cycle. Interesting. And that's next cycle as well. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna sleep. Gonna stabilize. Beautiful. End cycle. Oh no, I'm starving. What a terrible roll that is. Alright, so... Oh, it's gone. It's just gone. So do we get to talk to Lem and Mina? Are they just gone as well? No, there we go. Let's see if they're still alive. There's no answer when you buzz Lem's unit, but the door is open. You push the door and find Mina, sitting in the middle of the floor, playing with Bun Bun. Hi, Mina. Hi, robot, says Mina sullenly, waving Bun Bun's paw without looking up. Where's Daddy? Mina doesn't respond. She walks Bun Bun across the floor, narrating quietly to herself. You look around the unit. It's a mess. Dishes and glasses on the side, some of Mina's clothes piled up in a corner. Mina is sitting by her bag, which is spilled out across the floor, her drawing slate cracked and dark. Play with Mina. You sit down beside Mina and she turns away, taking Bun Bun with her. But after a little while, she turns back and you play together. She insists you both... She insists you both... To you both? He insists you both take Bun Bun on a trip away, dragging the stuffed rabbit across counters and surfaces. Took me a while to figure out what word was missing there. You've just started to look at fixing Mina's cracked slate when Lem enters. Sleeper, what are you... He pauses and looks from you to Mina and back again. Never mind, he drops a bag by the door and stomps onto the couch. Everything okay? Lem lets out a weak laugh. You forgot the past few cycles now too? Wish I was so lucky. He looks away at the open door. Look, now's not a good time. I want to help. Help? Unless you have a sidereal ticket or two on you, I don't think there's much you can do here. He pinches the bridge of his nose. You understand they never even put us on the list, right? I've been all around the rim looking for work and I've run into more than a few from the crews. I've run into more than a few from the crews. The crew members from the crews? It turns out only long-time Havanage members were issued those Chalice ID numbers. They never planned to consider us. Havanage say they didn't know that was what they were going to use to make the draw, and who knows, maybe Chalice pulled the wool over their eyes, but what does it matter? All those hours in the yards for a hand-to-mouth wage and nothing else. He slammed his hand down on the sofa. That can't be it. Well, it is. He looks at the open door again. They're moving the sidereal up the hub now, you know, he says without meeting your eye. That's where it'll depart from. They are bringing in a ship with all their cryosleep pioneers and transferring them up there, in microgravity, before loading the crew. We could sneak aboard? You think they're just going to let people on board? The security they'll have has to be impossible. He looks over at Mina. Look, we'll be fine. We always have been. I just need a little more time. He sighs. We had our hearts set on that trip is all. Mina comes over and climbs onto his lap. He smiles. I'm not giving up. What if I got you on board? I missed you these past few cycles. I missed that optimism. Hold on a second. Wondering what that noise was. Nothing. I'm gonna say it can't possibly be my grandmother's nurse. This early? It's getting earlier and earlier. Lem strokes Mina's hair. Look, you want to go up to the hub and ask around? Be my guest. I can't get up there with Mina down here, and I'm sure the sidereal will bring in a crowd. But be careful. This kind of thing always attracts scammers and thieves. You find any way on board, you take it. You need help to get there? Ask me. But for now, me and Meanie here are sticking to the eye. She looks up at him and smiles. I'll find a way for us all. Lem smiles but doesn't say anything. You stand to leave and Mina grabs your hand, eager to give you one more smile. Then you are out, back in the walkways of the low end, already thinking of plans to make this right. How about we kill everyone? No, okay, calm down. Calm down. How about we kill everyone? What have we got here? So I can use a die to get food. Would I want that? I've got plenty of money. I've got money up the wazoo. So where is... That's low end. That's to the hub. So I need to start working on that if I want to do this. Don't even have anything to add to that. Okay, definitely saving my scrap though. That'll be a bit of money. And this is rations. These only give 2 for 10, right? Whereas ye olde, whatever this guy's name, Emphas, gives me 3 for 15. I'll order the fungus, alright. There we go. Do I want to... I've been doing some low end. I feel like we've been sent to the hub. It's time to start working on this one. Spoke climber. Both repeatable. A tangled network of service passages and makeshift tunnels cut through the spoke, as if it were a hive. There are no maps here. Scale the spoke. Boosted with precarious elevators and stairways, the spoke can be navigated from the outside, but the climb requires bravery. Are these going to give me anything? Nope. Also, nope. So I need to re-roll this whole thing. Oh my god. How is this so bad? I guess I'll risk condition over... It's just, I'd rather use better die. Neutral. Alright. I mean, 50% on neutral. Neutral. Watch this. Negative. Oh, it's a negative, Bob. No, neutral again. Well, hey, that was worth doing. They're the same as well. Alright, well, fuck it. 50-50. Neutral. I mean, I'll allow it. Neutral. Always neutral. Okay, well, there you go. We nearly finished that one in one go. That's kind of unbelievable. Ah, so we found some stuff. PAS, import-export. Sell ship mind for 150 cryo. Export Matsuyaki, 80 cryo. Buy a ship mind. 300 though. I'd rather just wait for the... Try and get one more out of scrap and whatnot. Midline freight hub. Steal a shipment. With so many shipments, what's one diverted package? I feel like I've had this one before. Freight operator. That's just money. And this is random items. Well, we'll come back to that. We might need that if we... You know, if these dudes come back and we can get a ship mine cord, whatever, fragment, and then what? We go here? We need, this one needs 3, right? 3 to get a ship mine. That'd be better than, because I've already got 2. Spending 300 just to finish this quest. Yeah, no, that's not great. That's not great. I want to self-repair. Oh, that's a better roll. Could have done with that yesterday. One more spoke climber. I'm tempted just to do this. I'm gonna do it. That's how tempted I am. Neutral, nice, done. We have spoke climbed. And now we can go to the hub access elevator. Beautiful. Take the ascender car to the Eye Central Hub. Up we go. Bro, what's this doing up here? Oh, the spinning. The spinning. I don't even see what that says. Sidereal dock. Ah. So that's where the sidereal... There it is. There's the sidereal. That's back down. Central mainframe. The hub main dock. So this will be to find things. Yeah, no doubt. Don't need that just yet. Sidereal dock. Scout the dock. Sidereal has been loaded and prepped. Among all the commotion, is it possible to find a way on board? I do this for you, Lem. Boom. Salute. Boom chakalaka. There you go. Have we found a way? Castor. Low-end data fence. Quite the achievement, isn't she? Sandra Chellis must be proud. You turn quickly to see a figure, hooded and tucked in the shadows nearing the viewing platform. Do I know you? Sadly, no, but I know you, or at least I have seen you passing through the low end. You shouldn't rush through so much. The low end's pleasures tend to reward the wanderer, the rover. He looks around, but the platform is clear. We should be quick in our conversation, but I don't wish to unsettle you. I deal in data, and I believe you might have need of some. Castor walks out to stand beside you on the platform. The telltale clunk of magnetic boots accompanies his slow crossing. His slow crossing, that's all, folks. He notices you looking at them. I don't much like it up here, he explains. I hear there was some trouble at the Havana shipyard when they announced the results of the crew lottery. They screwed us. I know, he sighs, biting your eye. An ugly business. Chellis are too used to the way things work in the core. Exploitation is the only logic they know. He gestures out at the sidereal. You know why they built this monstrosity on the eye? Control? Certainly, but there is no corporate oversight out here. But that's not all. He stares at the pristine yellow hole. Wait, yellow? It's green. That's yellow. That's green. Chellis built it here, says Castor gravely, because they didn't want anyone to know it exists. He rubs his forehead. And secrecy is something I cannot abide. He turns to face you. Data must be free. There are people being loaded onto that ship as we speak. Sleeping people, locked in cryosleep like the person that you were emulated from. There are hundreds of them, and Chellis wants to send them out to a planet at the edge of the settled systems without anyone knowing where it is. But you, Sleeper, can do something about that. You're like me, you deal with data. You can read it right out of the air. With someone like you on that ship, secrecy isn't a problem. You can ping back whatever I need, whenever I need it, as long as you are on board. With you on the sidereal and with some minor modifications, he pauses, you can be my eyes and ears. I will keep track of Chellis's grand project through you. In short, says Castor, stretching, I can get you aboard, Sleeper, but I'm going to need you to help me. And who are you? I'm a concerned party, someone who likes to know what is happening when it is happening, not after it. It's not just me. Yes, your friend Lem, that can be arranged. It's difficult, but not impossible. The condition is, of course, that you go too. Castor clunks closer to the window, watching the tugs wheeling around the sidereal. It's a simple offer. It's a simple officer. It's a simple offer, and the only one that will get you on that ship. Please consider it. He turns back, silhouetted against the ship. Silhouetto. Zarabush. Magnifico. But to make it happen, I need your assistance, as I said. There is a Chellis Foundation ship docked in the now empty shipyard. I need the data from its servers. This will allow me to produce the IDs necessary for your transit. Castor looks over his glasses at you. Chellis aren't stupid though. Their ship is totally isolated from the station. You'll need to get on board if you want access to their airworld services. Service? What's wrong with me today? Jesus. Just read the words that are on the screen, you nerd. Once you have the data, meet me at your friend's unit so we can give him the good news. He smiles. I noticed his importance to you, and the little one. So cute. You don't extract the data before the sidereal horizon leaves the hub, then I will get the message. We have other options, but you are certainly my preferred one. But be sure when you act, Sleeper. Once you take the data from Chellis, you'll set off a series of events that will likely be hard for you to untangle yourself from. Either way, I recommend you stop asking around up here. You are bringing a lot of attention to yourself. Castor glances around as if to emphasize his point. There are only a handful of cycles until departure, Sleeper. Make your decision. With that, Castor marches back off the platform, the sound of his mag boots fading away, leaving you to contemplate the sidereal horizon and the part it may play in your future. Well, look, I guess I kinda 100% have to, So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cycles. Escape on the sidereal. I guess I'm gonna have to try and do this. I mean, is this sort of gonna lead to the end? Although this game seems to be, you know, as I said in the title, False Hope Simulator 2023. Oh, access mainframe. Here we go. The LF1, I don't even know if that's to say, the AE1 mainframe is now mostly disused, Havanage having set up their own master controllers. Navigator thinks Killer is hiding there. We'll do this. I don't know if that's going to use up a cycle. You slot Navigator and the clamps lock. The ship mind is stuck. How are you going to get them out of this thing? The cloud. You slip into the cloud as easy as blinking. Navigator is beside you, their sphere casting light into the strange darkness here. This is not how a mainframe should look. A center, a point of connection. The object in front of you is severed, cut off, a rootless, branchless tree. Only the trunk remains. Is Killer even here? Quiet, Navigator hisses, and then you see it, like a blade in the dark, an edge slicing through the void. It glides along at a distance and winks out. Then it appears again, elsewhere, gliding once more, searching. It's looking for us. The moment you make a sound, the edge leaps closer, and you see now it's not an edge, but the ridge of a long, sharp head, like a shark. Like a shark? It glides past, closer now, and you see into the voids where its eyes would be, should be. You and Navigator exchange looks, both thinking the same thing. It is blind. Blinded erasure protocol. Killer crosses between you two, smooth as a razor, then disappears. It flickers back in, further away now, and you move close to Navigator to talk. You saw it too then. Killer has been blinded. How? Unclear. This protocol has been running for decades, well past its operational limit. Navigator's sons dull as they drop their voice to a whisper. This may give us an advantage over the protocol. You flinch as the silent killer appears closer and glides past you, its empty sockets open wide. You turn to Navigator and notice something strange. Their array of spheres is collapsing. The orbits, usually round and even, are decaying. The spheres are following spiral paths, condensing on a central point. Navigator is noticing it too. They go to shift their position to better direct the spheres, but they cannot. Whatever is drawing the orrery together, orrery, I wonder how you say that. I don't even know what that word means. Is holding them in place. They look at you, suddenly desperate, frantic. It's a trap! It's a trap! You go to speak, but Killer appears between the two of you, gliding through the gap. Navigator freezes, and you see them framed in the empty socket. You realize now, if Navigator cannot move, then it's only a matter of time before one of Killer's sweeps bring them directly through Navigator. And time is not a problem for a protocol that has been running for decades. You look desperately around for a solution, for a way to extract Navigator from the mainframe. Then you see it. 3 branches, the last 3, thin and spindly, feeding the mainframe a thin diet of power and data. Break these and the mainframe collapses once and for all, severing the connections, shattering the hardware, whatever it takes, they must be broken. But they are encased in something, a glassy layer of protection. You'll need to unlock access before snapping them from the mainframe for good. You look at Navigator, trying to reassure them without speaking, and then you blink back to reality, their expression of fear, an after-image that slowly fades. You must act quickly. New drive discovered. Deal with Killer. Gain mainframe access. Enter the Greenway. Where'd that come from? The networks and systems of the Greenway have been cut off since the start. What would be going in them? Bro, we've got all sorts of shit to look at. What are we doing? We're just going to aim for the sidereal stuff, and then if we're still here, which we probably will be. So I need these things. I haven't got any of those things. This needs to be done fast. Right, so, nah. That's the sidereal. That's another lock. I need 3 of those if I'm gonna do it. Apparently, is there a cycle on it though? Doesn't seem to be. But we might be okay to just focus on the Cellus data, however you'll say that. Here we go. Bluff past security, Chalice infiltration or lockdown. Alright, so this is +++, and it's a critical action, so I get to do it once. Which we will do right now. And next cycle, we'll do the repeatable ones, if we get any useful stuff. Nice. No, I'm starving. Oh no, so hungry. Alright, use that one for sure. Positive outcome. And then this one should be... Oh, we've still got a negative possibility. Alright, let's read... Oh, yes! I think this one will be fine. That'll be perfect. It's all we need. Take that, that's for sure. There we go. Oh, it's a cute little... Is that got a face on it? Nice. Secure Chalice data servers. 53 cryo plus Chalice data. You're in. Maybe if you do this right, you might be able to pull something more than just IDs. Let's just go full blast, shall we? 100%. Alright, we got the data. Now what? Now what? What, do I go back up to the hub? These guys haven't shown... Well, these guys next cycle. Okay. Grab some food. Beautiful. Oh, here we go. Caster, Curious Data Fence. At Lem's house. When you arrive at Lem and Mina's unit, Caster is already waiting outside, leaning beside the door. Forgive me, Sleeper, but Chalice is already buzzing with news of the breach. I was expecting you. Will this work? Don't worry, the breach cannot be traced to the specific IDs I'm about to create. Caster reaches into a pocket and produces a sleek green and white hand terminal. The data, please. Hand it over. You hand over a drive with the data and Caster fishes around for a converter cable to hook it up. He slots it into the terminal and after some whirring, a set of 2 transparent films marked with numeric sequences are produced. 2 tickets to an uncertain future, Caster smiles to himself. The child will go with Lem, of course. He pockets them. These are yours, but first, he holds out a white cube. Your side of the deal. What is it? Something to help us make use of you. He passes you the square and you rest it in your palm, a small white perfect cube. Suddenly you feel a sharp pain and flinch. The cube jumps from your hand and rattles along the walkway. You look at Caster apologetically. Caster smiles. Not to worry, it has done its job. Now it is for you to do yours. You look down and see a tiny pinprick in the center of your palm. Nothing sinister. Caster puts the terminal away. This way we can keep track of you and the sidereal horizon. Whatever you need to do. Excellent. Excellent. Caster hands you the transparent films and you see shimmering portraits of you and Lem flickering beneath the surface. Go, give them the good news, and he reaches across and buzzes the unit. Lem slides open the door, half dressed in his gear. Sleeper, what brings you up here? Come in. He beckons you inside. You look to the side expecting to see Caster, but the wall is empty. The unit is cleaner, better organized than last time. Lem sits at a thin bar and gestures for you to sit. Mina's with some of the local kids. Someone has started doing lessons down the way. She seems to like it. Sit. You sit at the bar. What's up, Sleeper? I have some news. Out with it then, Lem laughs. I have Chalice IDs for us. You have... Lem unfreezes. How? He blinks rapidly as if to wipe you from his vision. Does that mean... Yep. Lem stands up and paces around the unit. We have to pack. He starts laughing. Holy shit, we have to pack. He turns back to you smiling. How the hell did you swing this, Sleeper? I made a deal. What a deal. Color me impressed. You show him the ID films and he whistles at the portraits. Impressive stuff. He pats you on the shoulder. You should stay until Mina gets home. We can tell her together. Sure. The mother goes. That'll be her. Lem gets up and opens the door and Mina, a bundle of energy and life, rushes into the room. A robot, she shouts. Lem picks her up. Mina, you won't believe what they brought us. You flash her the passes and she looks confused. We are going away after all, Meanie. He lifts her up above her head. On that big, beautiful ship. Mina screams and Lem laughs. He puts Mina down and she runs over to you and hugs your legs. I love you, robot, she says quietly so only you can hear. I love you too, Mina. And a while later, when you leave, you don't even think to check for Caster by the door until it's too late. You stop and turn halfway down the walkway, but there's nothing there. Even that little white cube is gone. So you keep walking back through the low end, deep in thought, excited and scared all at once. Wait for preparations to be completed. The running game did whatever it took to get that ticket. Okay. Wait for preparations to be completed. So let's see. That'll probably be up here, right? How long is that gonna be? Do we know? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like 8 cycles. So we can do some other shit while we're here. Let's deal with Killer. Let's deal with Killer. Oh, actually, no, we can't do that, can we? Not yet. Mainframe brain. Central mainframe. Because I need to go in here and I would need certain die, wouldn't I? Node. I would need a 4 or a 3. Great. 6. I have a 6. I guess I have to take that then. It has to be done. There's 1 and I need 3 of those, right? And a 5. Oh, it's being nice to me. It really is. Beautiful. Oh, what's happened? A glint, like a light traveling along the edge of a wave, fills your eyes. Then the blade follows, a long head with 2 dead sockets slipping towards you in silence. You freeze, hoping it will pass you by, hoping that it will not simply slice through you like air. The blade head nears, slides past you, almost. It nicks you, grazes you. You are desperate to cry out, to call out. But you hold your silence and simply watch the blind eyes of the killer glide past, empty of all thought. Then the blade winks into the dark and you are alone again. Now you cry out. Ouchie! Boo-boo gave me ouchies! Alright. Done. Back down? Back down? Never back down. Let's see. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Do I need anything here? No, not really. No, not really. That's next cycle. Alright. Sleepy time. Sleepy time down south. Right. I'll see. How many did I end up with? 2. Just the 2 then, is it? Just the 2 then, is it? Don't need to eat, really, in theory. Go back up here. Go into the cloud. What's this one want? Still wants 4 or 3, so we can't do that one. So, let's just start unlocking the ones we've got so we know what to do. Them. And also boom. And also now we go. Can I go down? No. I cannot do that. So we descend. We cloud. And see what else have we got. Don't want that, don't want that. Ah, so that's... I just have to wait till I have a 4? Are you kidding? That's trash. That's trash. I don't have a 4 or a 3. Am I gonna have to re-roll? I'm gonna have to re-roll, aren't I? What was it I needed? Let's double check. Or a 3. Yes. Saved by the bell. Beautiful. Out of there. I did that one, didn't I? I did. And I did that one, so it must be this one. It is. It is this one. It is a putty tat. Done. Mainframe. Really? Decide killer's fate. Killer is dead. Catch a killer. So, loop branches. Let's go. Repeater, both repeatable. Forget hacking the system. Killer has to die. If you can slice the branch connections, the mainframe will shut down, freeing navigator. Loop branches. With access to the branches, you could redirect them to form a loop, isolating the mainframe with killer inside, but freeing navigator. In theory. So that's 3 things to do at the risk of energy, and that's 8 things to do to save him. I mean, fuck Killer, right? Fuck him. Fuck him. Right in the ear. Boom. Hey, random scrap item. Nice. Nah, I don't think I can risk it, really, can I? Oh, it's gonna be, you know, look, 50-50. Neutral. Killer is dead. Zed's dead, baby. Zed's dead. Navigator. As you blink into the cloud, you see the last flickers of life from the mainframe. This vast machine once ran the whole station, span it up, directed and processed the flow of energy, water and data, fed the lives of thousands of people. Now it is finally dead. Navigator is beside you and you both watch as the branches flash and twist like forked lightning until they recede and fade. Killer flickers across the scene, blindly flailing as the system breaks down. They thrash as they blink in and out all around, parts of them disappearing with each return until only the blade-like head remains, and then that too is broken. It all goes dark. Erlin's eye is now without a center and yet is unmoved by the change. Along the rim, the master control points that Erlin, that Havanage, and Hypher installed run strongly and steady, puppeteering the station from its periphery. This was a long time coming, says Navigator, drifting faintly around you in a lazy orbit as if to shake off their imprisonment. Killer had been wandering blindly for so long. This place was their domain and prison, and they had followed their directives for many decades. They roamed here. They cut the threads of the mainframe, executed its administrator AIs, and then kept slicing. At some point they cut away their own ability to see, to sense, to taste, to speak, and yet they kept cutting, until only those 3 threads remained from millions that once thrummed here, only their blindness and chance keeping them from making those final 3 fatal cuts. There is a ceaseless violence in the kind of system that creates beings like this, those that will execute commands endlessly even to their own destruction. It is good you ended it here. You watch the data points of the station spin around you, blending with the fixed stars. There is something satisfying about finally wrenching the last threads of control from this central point. It was little more than a ghost by the time you reached it, but this place deserves to be haunted by better ideas than a totalizing system of control. Navigator floats beside you. It is free now. This station no longer presents a hazard for illegal entities like me. They turn to you, their face a cloud of shimmering light. In fact, in time, perhaps it can be a refuge. A refuge, that sounds like something of value, something worth building. A dark shape passes across your vision, a distant curve of something like smoke or oil, a fluid, shifting tank of total darkness. The Greenway, says Navigator, following your line of sight. It was cut off at the moment of the collapse, so Hunter or Killer could never reach it. Now it's closed off to us, separated from the cloud. Is it dead? It may be totally dark, or perhaps some other old protocols are isolated there. Navigator turns to you. And we have now seen what decades of isolation can do to a protocol. If we could extract an access cipher, they pause and then blink out of existence. You freeze, shocked, but a moment later they reappear with a glowing polygon of data. Here, the cipher you need. You take it, still shocked. I'm not used to being free, to being able to move and explore and extract without fear, without limits. Navigator does a little twirl. This will take some getting used to. Thank you for this gift. They whirl their spheres around you. The entities of this station will always be friends to you, Sleeper. And I to them. It is true that mutual need is required for friendship, but I must admit I had not considered the value of offering assistance without personal gain. I will think on that. Navigator loops around you rapidly, suddenly eager to test their newfound freedom. But first I will explore. Perhaps there are still intelligences that hid themselves as I did, encased in simple systems, cut off. Navigator glows. I should like to free them. And with that they drift away, flickering, glowing, then shifting so rapidly you lose sight of them among the glittering rim of the eye. You feel a pang of jealousy, free, without a body to weigh you down or fear to limit you. How must it feel? Your eyes fall on the Greenway and its secrets, though perhaps that can wait until after you have celebrated this victory. Victory! 1 more upgrade point. So, let's go into it. Is it Intuin that I like the most? Let's wait till we see what next thing we want to do. So everything's done up here. Let's... I still haven't disabled my tracker. I don't know what happened to that guy. scrapping. Got to fix the ambergris. I don't think the ships are here yet. That's next cycle, right? That's the next cycle. Oh no, this one's here. Nearly forgot about it. Buy some scrap. I don't want scrap. I want ship mine fragments. I don't think this gives me... Although getting scrap's not such a bad idea anyway, because we need to save this up. Let's actually buy as much as we can while we're here. We'll see if it gives us a mind as well. I don't think it will. I'm happy to spend 60 on a bunch of scrap, because once we've run out of this last stabilizer, that's it. It's done. Well, I think the only way we can get our condition back is with the scrap components. So we need to save up on that immensely. This is another 3 cycles. That's not good. That's not good. It's not good. Into the greenway. What else have we got here? Yeah, fix the ambergris. We have to wait on all of those things. What do I do with... What the hell's that? Oh, greenway cipher. Cache of raw data from Havenage hardware. Absolutely fucking nothing there. And then this one? No, if only I hadn't have tested out that mind back in the day, you know? Back in the day. That's money, and that's money as well. Neither of those things are going to give me a mind. That's to level up low end. Alright, over to the greenway. And then what, go in here? There we go, greenway gate. The entire greenway is locked down, shrouded in a dark cloud of shifting currents. I thought it said shitting currents. What is happening here? Boom! The cipher burns away as it is slotted, the data sparking like a lit touch paper. What has been unlocked? The cloud, the greenway roils beneath you like a slit-choked river. Silt-choked river, that makes more sense, yes. If what Navigator said was true, then no one has accessed these networks since the collapse. The hunter and killer protocols have never set foot here, never cleared out the intelligences and systems. So why then, you wonder, does it look so dark? Is it just that the bit rot has set in? What is bit rot, I guess. Rotting of bits. The entropy of systems reducing everything to shadows and light. You watch as the slotted cipher fizzled in the one open distorted gateway on this entire rim of the station. It flickers and winks out, and then you are falling into the flow. A river of swirling darkness. You are spun by it, twisted by it, lost in it. It's not that the greenway was hiding in the darkness. It is made of darkness. It is filled by it. I was made of darkness. Hang on a second. I'll be back. So my grandmother was screaming out that she was in pain, and when I went and said, "What's wrong?" she's like, "Oh, could you just turn the light on?" Would have just called out, could you turn the light on? But no, that's not how she thinks. It's not that the greenway was hiding in the darkness. It is made of darkness. It is filled by this substance, born in it. This process, this swarm. Now you're among it, you notice that a swarm is exactly what it is. 1 billion individuals moving in a flow. Shit, I clicked twice. There is no network map here, no nodes and threads, only a storm of interchangeable points, shifting configuration endlessly. Then you see them, a figure turned away, the only bright spot in the dark river.
Dark river. In the dark river.
In the dark river, you push closer through the storm. Gardener, ingrown farm administrator. All right, they can hang out with my ingrown toenail. They are facing away, at least you think so. They are so fractured, so overgrown that it is hard to tell. Even from this distance, you can see their flesh is moving, flowing. You watch, silent, as they stoop and reach down. In their hand is a dark shape, and with twisted fingers they press it down into the loam of data beneath them, pushing it through this trembling soil. Then they move away, go a little further, and repeat the process, as if they were sowing a field. You push forward, but somehow, despite their slow and deliberate speed, they move faster, and they quickly fade into the storm. You reach the point where they planted the object and look down. There it is, a glassy, shifting polygon with something inside. You reach down and pick it up. It is cold, but it thrums with energy. You look towards the path of the figure, but they are long gone. When you blink out of the cloud back to the leaves and the dappled light of the greenway, you hold a seed in your hand. A seed. Find a nurturing grow bed for the seed. Right. Nurturing grow bed for a seed, huh? So I probably have to unlock more things here. Here's my grandmother's nurse. All right. I'll be back. Alright, done. Eat me yogurt. I eat a yogurt when I take a break. And my meat bag, well, my meat bag eats the yogurt. I obviously don't eat anything. I'm virtual. And my meat bag's mother has managed to source him kimchi, which he is trying right now. To be cut up a bit. Hard to eat. Nice though. I used to hate kimchi, but you know what? I'll eat anything these days. Ah, a bit of chili as well. Oh, thank God. There's so little chili around here, although I can't really eat it. It affects my stomach. We're on the wrong screen there. There we go. We've got 2. To do what exactly? Where can we put this seed? No. That's not where it goes. Nor that. So these are 16. How? I have to find out. I have to find out. How much do they give you? Only 2 for 16. So these are actually really expensive. I thought they'd at least give me 3. I am upset. These guys work the grow beds. Heifer member, maybe I need to be. They did mention Heifer at the end of that quest there, didn't they? Gather scrap. I don't want scrap. I want whatever the fucking what's it? What is it? Ship mine. Alright, well, there you go. Too much science to be done. I think it's here that I can get food. Yeah, let's do that. Why not? Endure +1. What? I forgot I have this. I've not used my points. Engineer, no. Intuit. What's something that I use a lot of? Or would be useful to have more of a chance? What about something here? That's Endure as well. Interesting. Oh, well, actually, Endure is not one of the options, is it? I'd have to do that. Keep 2 dice even when breaking. I mean... I think I'm just gonna... Wait, hang on. I haven't even done an Intuit in years. Engage. That just needs the war mine, whatever it's called. Oh, I've got 3. Where did I get a ship mine fragment from? Bro. Out of fucking nowhere. Didn't see where I got that. 1 ship mine built. Beautiful. And now we can actually do this. Fix the ambergris. Toggle tracking. I found you a ship mine. That's right, and you gave me all that money as well. I'm not as rich as I thought I was. You dropped the huge cylinder onto the mess room table, and Kita can't hide her excitement. Bro, and that's a drive completed as well. Now I've got 4 upgrade points. Ah, dear God, I could do 2 of these, I guess. Yeah, you know what? Where's Endure? I'm gonna do Endure. Boom. And also Engage. Engage and Endure seem to be a lot of things along here. There we go. We use our 4 points. Now, next time we have 3 points, we can decide. This icebreaker thing, I just don't know where that's going to be useful. Anyway, let's talk to Ankita. Yeah, let's get the meat bag some more kimchi. You can find a way of biting a bit off. Fermented cabbage. Hang on a second, I'm sorry. His mouth is full. And I need his meat bag mouth to make my mouth work. The meat bags. Okay, you drop the ship mine core onto the galley table with an emphatic bang. Nikita spins around from where she's been poring over some documents on her slate. Holy shit, Sleeper, did you actually land a ship mine? She rushes over to hefts the huge cylinder, turning it back and forth. Well, shit, it might actually work. She smiles wider than you've ever seen. Where did you get it? I built it. Built it? Well, 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 you are full of surprises. Ankita bangs on the galley wall. Hear that, Amber? The Sleeper got you a new ship mine. The sound echoes down the ship's passages. You have to admit, being in a small space with Ankita when she's this excited is a little intimidating. Ankita puts the ship mine back on the table. I'll start the process of fitting it as soon as I can. I might need your help with some of it. She heads back towards the counter to grab her slate. This isn't the only good news today either. Looks like my good karma is finally coming in. She throws the slate onto the table and spins it so you can see the screen. Take a look at this. You see a list of names and numbers, nothing that exciting, along with what looks like a transit timetable. I found them. The thieves? Exactly. Well, the thief, singular. She points at a name on the list, or more specifically, Ashton Cade. It was his pass that was used to access Amber and slice the ship mine. I thought he might have been killed or robbed, his pass stolen, but it turns out he crossed the Founder's Gap the very next cycle. How did you know? I know some of the crew over at the ferry. Old mercs used to run in an outfit I worked with. I saw them in the Overlook and they mentioned they saw Ashton crossing. I checked the manifests and there he was. Looks suspicious. He hasn't said a word since the theft, and anyone wanting to hide out might head to the Greenway and go to ground. She flexes. He won't get far though. There's no real docks out there, only a couple of jetties in the wastes. Going after him? Not yet. First I want to fit the ship mine. She pauses. But maybe you could help me out. Sure, how? It's like this. I head over there, especially in Amber. He'll spot me a mile off and go underground. He'll find a way to slip the station, or he'll bury himself so deep in the waste no one will ever find him. But you, Ashton doesn't know you. All I need is for you to go there and sniff around. Not at the commune, not at the stacks. He will have gone to the edges, the margins, the wild places. That's what Ashton likes. You see him, you locate him, ping me on this. She hands you a comm earpiece. Seeing as this is merc work, I'll be happy to give you merc pay. She shifts in her seat. The thing is, I haven't got much left. So how about I tell the boys who run the ferry to give you a discount? I know it's not much, but once I grab this coward, I'll pay up. 200 cryo, nothing less. What do you say? She meets your eye. Okay. She gives you a heavy whack on the shoulder. Good, I owe you. She lifts the ship mine up onto her shoulder with worrying ease. I'm going to go get this fitted into Amber's core. You get any info, any sense of where Ashton is hiding, let me know. She goes to turn and then stops. And once again, Sleeper, thank you. I appreciate it. Ankita stomps off into the guts of Amber with the ship mine, leaving you in the galley. You glance around, a sudden nervous energy descending at what is to come. You never thought you'd get work as a mercenary, but then again, it seems the eye is full of surprises.
New drive discovered.
Find Ashton. I'm trying to find a nurturing spot for the weed. The damn weed. So have I been paying? Is this a cost money? What? What? It never cost money, did it? Anyway, time to sleep.
Time to die.
Beautiful. Beautiful. What else have we got to be doing? Alright, so let's have a look around at the things that need doing. That's nothing. That's nothing. This is 2 more cycles. This one we've done everything we can. Would make money. I must have got one of the mines from there after all. That's just Monet as well. Don't want to sell that. Don't need Monet. We're okay with Monet. That we've already done. Don't need food at the moment. I wonder if this is where I'm meant to be finding Feng. Take me to Tambor. Anyway, we've got quests to do. Let's worry about that. That's money. Random items. That would have been a place to try and get a mind as well. Self-ship mind. Export Matsuyaki. I would need 3 of those. And I could have bought the ship mine there, but I wasn't gonna. I made it myself. Beautiful. That was not bad. So let me just double check. So I've got 481. Doesn't cost anything. Why did she say she'll give me a discount to come over here? That's outrageous. It's not true. It's not even remotely true. Yeah, here we go. Wild margins is where Ashton is. Let's see. Plus. Risky. Possibly losing 3 energy if we fail, but we will never fail. Interface. Boom. That gave us 3. What's this gonna do? Nah, it's not. Let's do this. Yeah, that'll do, I guess. At least we'll get 2 of them done. And this one will do condition if we fuck up. I think it will be too much. It's too much. 3's not enough. 3's not enough in my book. Let's see what else we can do with these things. Oh, that's just on its own, is it? This is just gathering scrap. I don't need scrap. Well, I may need scrap eventually, because it's going to be the only way to fix my condition, I think. I think that's where we're headed. I don't know where I'm supposed to get. Can I do anything here? Safe. Okay, that's not bad. It's also safe. Gauge or endure, it doesn't matter. Let's just do that. Let's start working on Haifa member. Oh, I even got a positive. Beautiful. Oh, and you get food. If it's positive. That's not bad. Oh, hang on. Cancel. Oh, no. It was almost guaranteed negative. No, it didn't. I thought it was going to take off something as well. But no. But no. Alright, well, we'll start working on that too, because I think that must be... Find a nurturing grow bed. In Haifa commune. Would you find a home here, perhaps? I'm trying to get away on the boat, though. On the ship. Got a bit more meat bag kimchi. That was way too much. Oh, hang on. I'll be back. Hey, fine. I'll be right back. Been treating me pretty well. Alright, sweet, done. Meat bag has gotten rid of the kimchi. The wrong button there we go. Wrong button. Track Ashton. Haifa commune. Into the Greenway. Don't know where to do that. Okay, well I think we're gonna have a sleep. Gonna have a wee sleep here. Oh, we sleep. Okay, not bad. Not bad, good size. One more for the... Actually, I don't even need that anymore. I got the mine. I don't even need that anymore. The mine was gotten. So, back to this one. Should be fine. Should be fine. And that should be it. Boom. Here we go. Ankita. The trail ahead extends deep into an overgrown section of the greenway. At this far end of the ring, where the long, lazy curve of the greenway becomes the shattered landscapes of the wastes, things are oddly quiet. Ahead stands a vast farm stack, broken from its axis by rust or force and lying amongst the overgrown landscape like an ancient temple. It is stained with moss and algae, flows of green running out from its broken tanks like frozen brackish tide. This is where Ashton is hiding, you are pretty sure. All of your intuition points to the shadows beneath this collapsed superstructure. You roll the comm headset Ankita gave you into your palm. Call, Ankita. You slip the headset into your ear and it fizzes with static. After a few moments you hear Ankita. Sleeper, have you located the target? A doubt enters your mind. Can you be sure he is there? Yes, come now. Copy, hold tight until I get there. The static cuts out, the channel dead. You hold your position and watch the trail. Ahead the stars wheel with the motion of the eye, and your mind wanders. You try to imagine what this place looked like before the collapse. All ordered rows of crops, corporate pleasure gardens, growing farm stacks. Now it is a wilderness, a strange overgrown biosphere bordered by the void of space. You smile. Despite everything, it seems like an improvement. Sleeper, Ankita hiss brings you out of your reverie. He's in the collapsed stack? I think so. He gives you a look. You better be right. Well, look, you know, fuck you. I'm doing my best. We're all doing our best here, Ankita. Well, there's no way I'm following that trail. If he's up there, he'll have eyes on that for sure. She glances across the landscape. Let's keep to the undergrowth, work our way around. She heads off towards the central spine of the greenway with you following close behind. It's slow going there, where the overgrowth meets the metal wall, but it is so concealed that you can barely see the glass roof high above. Ankita somehow seems to know where to go. Ankita works her way through dense undergrowth, pushing aside branches and fronds. With fronds like these, who needs an enemies? It is exhausting and you desperately want to rest, but Ankita shows no signs of letting up. Up ahead there is a faint glow from the collapsed stack. Ankita leads you around the side to a broken tank. You both step through the opening, trying to avoid the broken glass that sits among the moss and algae. Yeah, is that a dad joke thing? Oh no, yeah, ha 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 ha, boom, boom, tish. You work your way up the slanted tank, Ankita setting a deliberate pace. Somewhere water drips, and you swear you hear birdsong. Hanging plants catch the light, coating the place in a pale and sickly green. Ankita reaches the edge of the tank where it meets the central drum and holds up a hand for you to stop. You inch forward and look over the edge. The vast drum is like a cistern with plants growing on all sides and wet mossy islands at its base. It is beautiful, and for a moment you can't see anything but tones of green. Then you see the sleeper. I thought I was the sleeper. In a faint circle of light descending down through the drum, the sleeper lies slumped at an odd angle. They are surrounded by crates, and beside them, on one of the mossy islands, there is an object. An objet. A cylinder set on a tarp. It is connected to the sleeper's head. You flinch. Are they one of the others? One of the ones that escaped with you? You squint, trying to recognize them. They are twisted, broken, open, wrong. You look away. Ankita doesn't look at you. She doesn't look at the sleeper. She fixes her eyes on the object. That's Amber's ship mine, she says, and you suddenly recognize the cylinder. Wait. You turn to Ankita to speak, but she is already gone. She drops off the edge of the tank and lands on one of the mossy islands, her armor letting out a hiss as it absorbs the impact. The shot hits her shoulder piece, the ceramic armor cracking but holding as she braces on into the impact. Then she launches herself forward, the now activated armor launching across the drum. Another shot goes wide before she reaches the cover of the crates beside the sleeper. Shit! You hear the shout from one of the tanks high on the far wall. Ankita reaches over and wraps a hand around the thick connection between the ship mine and the sleeper. What is she doing? You better come down here or I'll rip this right out of their head, she screams at the wall of tanks. You shiver at the suggestion. Stop! Quiet, sleeper, Ankita shouts. A shot rips through the moss beside you, filling your vision with green. The shooter must be somewhere on the other side of the tank. Do that again and I swear to God I'll tear their head off, Ankita shouts to them. Sleeper, you stay down. There's a long pause. All you can hear is the dripping of the water running down the walls of the drum. Then Ashton calls out. Ashton, disgraced mercenary. I'm coming down, Ankita. Don't do anything stupid for God's sake. He appears at the far side of the drum, stepping through the shallow water, rifle raised above his head. Drop the gun, Ankita shouts. He throws it down into the moss, onto the moss. As you lean out to watch, you see him catch your eye, clocking your presence. What are you up to, Ashton, you sicko? She stands, keeping her sidearm trained on his head. You ripped my ship mine for what? Some freakish experiment? Ashton approaches with shaking hands, his eyes now fixed on the connecting bundle of wires that Ankita still has hold of. Steady, Ankita. It isn't like that. I needed the ship mine. You have to understand, they would have died without it. What are you talking about? I don't give a shit why you ripped my ship mine and crippled my ship. I should put you down right now. She tightens her grip on the connection. Typical of you, Ankita. No curiosity, Ashton smiles shakily. That's why I never asked for it, for your help. You only look after yourself. He nods at you. That sleeper up there, they are just bait, right? To draw me out? Ankita sucks a breath in. Are you trying to give me more reasons to shoot you? I love them, Ankita. Ashton looks at the crumpled sleeper. I love them and they were going to die. I knew you would never understand that. He starts closing the gap between himself and Ankita now, slowly inching forward. Don't do that, Ashton, Ankita snarls. Don't do that. Let the wires go, Ankita. Let us go. If you don't get out of my way, he inches closer. Please. I can't let you take it, Ashton. Ankita hardens her stare. You stole it from me. You left me for dead. She shakes her head. You think I'm going to trust you after all that? I needed Ankita. I need them to survive. Ashton is in reach of the sleeper now, of Ankita. I'm going to take them now, Ankita. He raises his hand. I'm going to take the ship mind and go. Ankita loosens her grip on the connection a little. Her hand is shaking now. Stop, Ashton. He lowers the gun a little. Stop. Seeing her drop her guard, he makes his move. A blur of movement, a struggle, a shot, another. You recoil back behind the edge as they ricochet around the inside of the drum, the sound deafening you. When you crawl back to the edge, Ashton is bleeding into the water, the red and the green. Ankita is standing at the center of the drum, the severed connection in her hand. The water drips endlessly, drip after drip after drip. You force yourself to look at the broken sleeper. There's no sign of life, of humanity. They are just another broken object among other broken objects, while all around, living things grow and thrive. Ankita finally looks back up at you, tears in her eyes. She begins to say something that might be sorry, but you are already gone. Ankita, no! Talk to Ankita about what happened. She killed everyone! She killed everyone! That did go swimmingly. What a nerd! So, yeah. Well, look, I gave Ankita the benefit of the doubt. I called her rather than going myself. And I learned a powerful lesson today. Trust no one. Trust no one. Alright, hang on. So what else are we trying to do here? I'm also trying to do this. There we go. Join the Haifa. Join the Haifa commune. Geflom. Geflom. Reload. Not too bad. Not too bad. Good size. Neutral. How did I get food? I didn't even notice. Didn't even look. Come on, give me a positive. Just for the sake of it. Ah! Ah! Okay, I'll allow it. I'll allow it. One off, bro. Missed it by that much. Okay. Where do I talk to Ankita about it? I thought she'd be back here. I should have checked. Maybe she's over here then. Back we go. Hello? Where is you at, Ankita? Not here. No, I did look here. Where is she? Where is she? Talk to Ankita. I guess that'll show up tomorrow then. She definitely ain't here, and she's not on her ship. Her ship has disappeared. Where would she be? Alright, I guess we'll just find out tomorrow maybe. End sickle. Beautiful, beautiful. Lovely. Leave. Alright. Hello? Got Ankitas? Anyone? Oh, is that her there? No, that's the merchant freighter. That's where she was. What are these stutters, game? What are these stutters? Surely On a 3080, I shouldn't be getting stutters. Or is that her there? Oh, we're waiting, are we? 2 cycles. Anghita is away. Amber is docked here at a rickety old jetty, but she's sealed up. A note says, "Sleeper, stay. I'll be ready soon." I mean, you say that. You say that. Alright, let's just do one of these then. Hey, and some energy. Alright, so what's that giving us? Bam, Hyphador. Communist, noun, someone who joins a commune. I'm a communist. Fucking oath I am. Not really. Well, not really. Inject stabilizer. Oh, this is now another place to sleep on this side. Oh, isn't that lovely? Isn't that lovely? And this gives energy. Okay. Sorry for October, I spotted some Outer Wilds clip in your Be Right Back sequence last stream. What did you think of it? Look, I would put it probably at 1 or 2 best game I've ever played. I loved that thing. I haven't played the DLC, but I haven't wanted to because the experience of Outer Wilds was so great that I worry that the new DLC or whatever is not as good. But yeah, loved Outer Wilds. Like, strongly. Okay, cool. I've not actually looked into it, so yeah. If it doesn't ruin the experience of the original, yeah, I loved Outer Wilds. I mean, like, it's an actual game. Like, it's a game in that there's mechanics to do, but the whole time loop thing and trying to find everything, you know. Yeah, it's up there. Like, if you put things into categories, it would definitely be number 1 on a lot of categories for me. Guess, like, I don't know, Mass Effect trilogy might be just slightly better, you know, that had some amazing story as well as game. Like, Outer Wilds has a great story, but it's more about the experience than anything else. But yeah, like 1 or 2, number 1 or 2 best game ever. Rico, commune botanist. Head of the Hypha Botany. You head down into the Hypha compound following a blue painted line that is labelled laboratories. The member you were assigned to work with told you they asked to see you, but you still have no idea what about. The line takes you to a blue door and through to a glass roof chamber where a network of stems and leaves filters the sunlight coming through the ceiling, casting the whole chamber into a strange yellow-green. Peaceful, isn't it? Distracted by the green, you miss the woman standing at a lab bench camouflaged by the dappled light. Welcome to my sanctuary, she smiles. Come, let's talk, she says, and beckons you closer. What is this place? Here? These were processing centers for the agriculture of the old corporate station. He offers a hand to shake. I'm Rico. I run the botany program at Hypha. What is Hypha? She looks surprised. You've been working in the compound for a while now. I'm surprised you don't know more. She lifts a tiny sample jar. Yellow spores dance inside. Hypha lives off the land of the Greenway. It's what allows us to live like we do. No one here pays or is paid. We sleep here, we feed each other, we work for each other. Rico walks away from the bench and waits for you to follow. She opens a small door and leads you down a glass corridor surrounded by vivid green. All this, she says, gesturing at the overgrowth, is a kind of miracle. She looks at you with bright eyes. What do you think usually happens to plants on stations like this when they are abandoned? They keep growing. If only that were true. No, they do not. They dry up and then they die. Oh, Saj. She leads you left at a crossroads. But here they endured, she smiles to herself. Actually, no, they thrive. You look at the bright tendrils wrapped around the metal frames of the corridor. They look dominant, strong, like they're taking control of this place. Rico continues. Of course, Solheim tried to create a stable biosphere here, patchworking the surface with gardens and algae tanks that feed into a network of microbial reclamation systems. Of course they do. But the Greenway was always envisioned as extractive, a place from which the harvest is removed and sold to those living on the station, not a closed loop. For this reason, when the collapse came, the Greenway should have gone with it. Erlen himself was so convinced of it that his first colony never even came here to try and reclaim it. The Eye instead relied on outside favors and influences, shipments from the inner system, and small-scale agriculture systems like kelp and fungal farm stacks. And yet here we are, among growth and decay, a biosphere flourishing. When Haifa came here, we expected to find only vacuum-dried stalks and leaves and perhaps some fungal colonies hidden in the mulch, but we found a jungle. With this, Rico hits a button on the wall and leads you through a large pair of double doors into a huge, impossible chamber. It is every kind of green, from the pale algae chanks to the dark vines that surround them. It is wet too, a rarity on the eye. Condensation clouds the light from the high glass roof and gathers on the shiny broad leaves of shrubs. Did you do this? She smiles. Oh no, not me. Oh no, not me. We never lost control. Rico turns to you, visibly excited by the room you're both standing in. It doesn't make sense, but in many ways the system has stabilized. Unlike the farm stacks closer to the gap, who need input to support their meager output, this place runs itself. Perhaps Solheim managed something new here. Perhaps they tweaked the plants or built new systems buried deep below us. Or perhaps their collapse caused some fortunate cascade, an unlikely chemical reaction within the biosphere. That's what I'd like you to help me find out. She turns to you, her forehead wet with dew. Me? Yes, you. Rico sits on a railing. These halls run deep, sleeper, and I'm getting old. She stamps her foot on the metal grating of the walkway. Whatever is causing this is to be found in the groves deep in the greenway. Haifa won't spare anyone for an expedition. It's too dangerous and unnecessary, they say. I can make the case, but I can't get the votes. You sleepers are hardy beings, I know that much, and you can speak to the Eye, uncover its secrets in ways I never can. He holds out an arm so you can help her stand. Bring me samples, spores, seeds, and blooms. I can grow them in the lab and study them. The deeper they are found, the better. I'll try. Thank you, she smiles, and thank you for listening. Rico leads you back out the huge chamber and up through the passages. He's a little slower now and stumbles on the steps. You help her where you can. It's good to have new blood in the commune, she says. Many of us have been here a long time, and few come through. She settles back at her bench in the lab, stretching her legs. You go to leave. Come back if you find something, sleeper, she calls. There are discoveries to be made, and you follow the blue line back up out of the compound, all the time thinking of that impossible magical green. The impossible green! Help Rico's experiments. Collect spores for Rico. Okay, so, what's this? I still haven't found a nurturing grow bed for the seed. And that's where it is. I was going to say that this is going to be where it is. No, it isn't. Interesting. Rico has asked for samples of spores from the deep groves of the Greenway. With them, she might be understand this part. But this doesn't actually count? No. So why did it have a thing on it? I am outraged. So where do I get the spores from again? Could be this one. Gerald Cap's 2 grove spores. Is that what I'm after? I forget what they look like. I'm going to have to do this because I've forgotten. 1 grove spore. That is what I'm looking for. Right. How many does she want? She wants 3. Gotcha. Gotcha. Deliver the old sporeals. There you go. Deliver the old sporeals. The Aurora Sporealis. This would give me energy for a dice. It would definitely be worth thinking about, but I don't really need the energy just yet. So we can actually sleep right here. Oh, isn't that nice? Anything I should do? I'm not ready to stabilize just yet. I don't know how many cycles it's been. The boat, the ship might be ready. I probably should go have a look, really. Let's do that. Let's just do some, whatever you call it, some administrative work here. Let's go up here and see where we're at with the bot. 2 more cycles. Bruh. 2 more cycles. That's amazing. Alright, so... Yeah, okay. What's my plan for the Sidereal? Well, I managed to get some tickets for everyone, and now I'm waiting for it to go. I don't know, that might be the end of the game. No spoilers, but yeah, the reason I titled this False Hope Simulator 2023 is mainly because I'm betting right at the last second something will go wrong and I can't take the Sidereal, but I've just been sort of waiting for that to be ready to go. But I've got tickets. I've got tickets, bruh. 1 upgrade point. Can't do anything with it. We need to go back here. Give me the POS. The POS. 2 growth spores. That's all I need, right? Also beautiful. Let's go, Rico. Johnny Rico. Sleeper. Rico greets you without so much as looking up from her work. I have some of yours here. Come see. He beckons you over to a heavyweight looking console wired to a series of specimen jars, some of which contain your spores. Where did you get this? This, would you believe, she smiles, was a Solheim console built to analyze the nutrient contents of the Greenway crop. Lifer have been using these for decades now, although sometimes they need a little tender care. You look at the machine, patched with hole offcuts, the gaps between which reveal a tangled nest of wiring. If you're honest, it looks like it has received a lot of care. The spores you have here are a real cocktail, a selection of types from within the groves, but I've been able to isolate a few. She tapped one of the specimen jars. Here we have a Tricoloma Matsutake. Matsutake should have been the easiest one. Tricoloma Matsutake. Rico breathes through the Latin and Japanese pronunciation as if it was nothing. A species Solheim somewhat modified for use on the station. She brings up a panel on her console showing a chemical composition, all gradiented bars, and obtuse acronyms. This is the composition of the Solheim modified Matsutake spores. Am I supposed to understand that? Not entirely, no, but I think you'll understand this. Rico brings up another panel, identical in layout, with wildly different colors and numbers. You see, this is what your Matsutake spores look like. I don't understand. Look at the composition, they are totally different. Rico glances at the specimen jar as if it might have something to add. They are fundamentally the same spores, but they carry different chemicals, different signals. She leans back and sighs. Solheim may have introduced their own tweaked versions in the beginning, but the groves have and still are affecting them. Affecting them how? It's hard to tell without samples of fully grown mushrooms. She meets your eye, and herein lies our problem. She moves to another desk where 2 trays sit side by side. The first contains nothing but plant mulch. The second you smell before you even look at it, the pungent aroma of the fruiting Matsutake like rotting sodden overalls laced with an edge of spice. The Matsutake here are grown from Solheim stocks pulled from a spore vault in this complex, she winks. They are delicious, by the way. She sets them aside. The empty tray is germinated with the spores you collected. No activity, no germination, nothing. But the groves are full. Yes, they are. Rico looks at you directly and you suddenly realize how much she is enjoying this. So here is our puzzle, Sleeper. Spores from the groves won't grow in the lab. But gathering fruiting bodies from the groves is too unpredictable. We need to grow a fruiting body from some of these spores so we can track it, understand it. In short, I need you to become my mushroom farmer. Dude, I was actually going to title this, Where the Shrooms At or something before I did False Hope Simulator. I thought we were done with the mushrooms though, but here we go. Mushroom farmer. Actually, I already started. Rico looks impressed. Well, an eager mycologist. I'd never have guessed. I assume you set yourself up in the aviary. I've been eyeing that place up for its proximity to the groves. Bring me whatever grows, not just Matsutake. There's more than a couple of variants in there, so I'll need plenty of samples. She plucks a Matsutake cap from the tray. These little things are reflections of their conditions, their smell, their taste, their chemistry. It all derives from the conditions of their growth. She smells the cap. Enough of these and we'll have a picture of what is happening here, of the ways in which this biosphere is modifying itself or being modified, whichever the case may be. Rico pops the Matsutake cap in her mouth, taking you by surprise. And don't worry, Sleeper, she says while softly chewing. If this turns out to be a dead end, I'll make sure that not a single mushroom will go to waste. All hail the mushrooms! Okay. So, question mark. We've got one more cycle on that. 2 more cycles on the sidereal. Praise it. Praise the mushrooms. Praise them. The mushrooms are life. The mushrooms are... What do I need to be doing here? Instead of praising mushrooms, I don't know where to do the seed yet. That we're waiting to. That's next thing. That's at the end of the... I don't even know if we're doing that. And I'm growing mushrooms for Rico. That's what I wanted to check. Hang on a second. So where's she? Growing mushrooms. What have we got here now? Durol samples. Matsutake samples. Well, we've got a shitload of stuff here, right? So let's do a Matsutake sample. Oh, and that does 3. Not bad, not bad. And Girols. Did that do 3 as well? Only 2. Doesn't matter. Let's just do them all. We know how to get them. I should be saving them, I guess, for that flotilla one, but also, again, that's DLC. I'm not sure if I want to go that far. I want to see how the game ends, basically, before doing DLC that's come later. Look at this. We're going to make it perfectly. Absolute perfection. You'd think I could have eaten some along the way here. Alright, now what? Rico. Rico meets you at the entrance to the lab, leaning on her crutch with a glint in her eye. Walk with me, sleeper. I'd like to tell you a story. She makes her way down the corridor that leads back up towards the main commune building. When people first crossed what we call Founder's Gap into the Greenway, they did so against the wishes of Andre Erlin. At the time, Erlin was trying to stabilize the Union and establish control over the Eye in the wake of Solheim's collapse. It was chaos, competing factions, failing systems, so many dead and injured from the riots. That was his priority. Listen. You both crossed through the glass-roofed tunnel, the greenway outside crowded with vines and branches, dappling the light. Erlin had written the greenway off. Cut off from the rest of the station and linked to a broken spoke, he claimed it was only a matter of time before everything here would die. He refused to let anyone abandon their duty to the Union and cross. They were traitors to the cause, or as good as. Rico continues, making her slow but steady way into the inner gardens of the commune. There weren't many of us, but we believed what was here was worth saving. We had to keep our plans secret until we crossed, and some of us left people behind. She pauses to catch her breath, her voice cracking. It is difficult to know if from effort or emotion. What we found was a disaster, nothing like what you see here. Half of the greenway was leaking oxygen into space, the plants flash frozen. The other half was a swamp of mulch as decaying matter clogged every system. We worked hard, we lost good people, we cleaned up and closed up, but it was never going to be enough. After many, many cycles, we all knew this place was doomed, but we kept on working, taking less and less, talking less and less because we couldn't face it. But we all developed a death wish. If the greenway was going to die, so would we. But it didn't die. It did not. Excuse me. Hang on. Meat bag needs water. Go on, drink meat bag. You know, you got me thinking about Outer Wilds. I think I've got it on my YouTube channel. I recorded the whole game, you know, from start to finish. I don't remember if I streamed it or not. It's probably got my face on it rather than, no, my meatbag's face rather than my face on it, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Blah, 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 blah. It did not. Rico smiles. We crossed some invisible boundary, tipped some biological scale, and the greenway started to recover. Plants flowered, crops sprouted. For the first time, we reaped the fruits of our labor. Rico smiles, looking up at you. We thought it was us, that we managed to do just enough to end the cycle of decay. I thought we had saved the greenway until then. You found it. Jesus, Flurg. Jesus. It's one of those games, right? Like when I started, I feel like I must have streamed it, or there was someone on my YouTube comments who was watching it with me. They were waiting for each episode because I was doing like one a day. And they're like, whenever I see a new content creator make Outer Wilds, I have to watch it because everyone's playthrough is different. And yeah, and I've watched a few since then. You know, I love watching people find Outer Wilds, especially, you know, like streamers that I watch, and then they go, "Oh, we'll try Outer Wilds, let's see what this is like." And it's like, holy shit, everyone does a completely different playthrough. Pretty active Outer Wilds Twitch community, can't watch it all. Yeah, because, you know, like, I forget what happened now, but I stumbled on something, like, within, like, the first day that you're meant to find right at the end, kind of thing. I just happened to accidentally walk through a door or whatever it was at exactly the right time, which meant that that's when that door was open or whatever. Didn't even know, I don't even think I understood the time loop at that point. And then, yeah. And then, like, late game, I couldn't find how to do that because I'd already found it accidentally. I didn't actually understand what the mechanism was, and eventually figured it out, but... But yeah, you watch anyone else play it, and they just, you know, they go to a different planet first, or they, you know... Depending on which planet you go to first, you're just going to have a completely different playthrough, and, you know, it all basically ends the same, but... That's what's so great about that. And yet, none of it feels like you're just sort of left astray, you know? There's always some thread that you can follow, and I mean, that's why it's probably the best game ever made. It's just kind of a little miracle of how did they get these timing things to work, and how do you even impart that to the player that, you know, that it's important that sometimes you need to be at a certain spot, and, you know, you go to the two planets that are exchanging the matter, and, you know, you sit there going, so really late in the loop I'll be able to do stuff on that planet, but I have to do early in the loop to do this planet, and like, like, that's just, I can't even, how did they come up with that? That's so cool. And to have, like, the entire solar system, all of them had different mechanics that all revolved around basically you show up at a certain time. And then, you know, obviously the final puzzle was like, okay, I need to be there, then I need to do this, and then I need to get to that planet, and then I need to jump into here, and then I get that code, and, like, brilliant. And that was a game. It wasn't some, you know, it wasn't something that, it was just like an experimental thing. It felt like an actual game. Like, you know, you'd put your quarter into the arcade and you would play this as a game, you know? It was a game, not just a sort of visual story like this one is. I mean, although there's plenty of game systems in this, which is surprising me, but... yeah, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I love Outer Wilds. Absolutely loved it. And, yeah, I don't have the DLC, so I'll have to, I know Outer Wilds showed up on Game Pass, so maybe the DLC will show up on Game Pass eventually, and that way I don't have to fork out any money. I'm very miserly these days. I don't know if I've told you the story, but I'm a carer for my 99-year-old grandmother, and although I'm Australian, you can probably tell from my voice, I live in France. So, you know, she sort of pays for my food and board, and I take care of her. But that is not a lot of money, you know what I mean? I'm skint, I'm broke basically. And I wouldn't have it any other way, like, fuck money. Fuck money, I'm a communist. Let's go, Rico. We reap the fruit of our labor, we share stuff around here. That's what's going on. We thought it was us. I'm starting a commune. We thought it was us that we managed to do just enough to end the cycle of decay. I thought we had saved the Greenway until today. Sorry about the rant. I mean, again, I should have put the rant screen on. Should have rant on fucking Outer Wilds is amazing. There we go. But yeah, Outer Wilds sets me off on the rants sometimes. Because what a game. What a game. Like, I'm just going to keep ranting. Like, what a pleasure it was to discover the mechanics of that game. Like, it was just chef's kiss. And I'll tell you this, the first hour or so where it's sort of teaching this stuff, I didn't like the game. I'm like, what is this crap? I don't understand it. Why am I having to learn how to control a ship? Now we're doing orbital mechanics. I kind of like that, but I don't know what's going on. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing next. And I nearly gave up. And he said, and I'm glad I stuck with it, but it almost needs a a warning label saying, like, just stick with it, just get past the first hour or so. Then you will absolutely, you will not care that it was kind of a weird beginning. But yeah, I know I'm preaching to the choir. That's why I thought I should stop ranting. It's like, you know how good it is. You pass into the grow beds of the commune, rich with the hustle and bustle of Haifa members planting and harvesting. For a while, Rico is quiet, and you both simply observe the hypnotic movements of the work crews, the eager chatter washing over you like a wave. Rico smiles to herself. And the music, though! Like, in the music. Fucking best soundtrack of a game in ages. That song that's even part of the game, the part of the... You know, as the time loop continues on, the music gets more and more... Fucking masterpiece. I'm pretty sure it won Game of the Year or something, didn't it? It won a few awards, and it fucking deserved it, because what a fucking masterpiece of a game. I should have known, of course, that our arrogance was unfounded, but we needed to believe back then. We needed a myth to bring more people across the gap. You both move into a smaller corridor, Rico following some direction unknown to you. What you have shown me is that, back then, the Greenway saved us, not the other way around. Tell me, have you ever consumed one of the Matsutake or Jiro caps you have been growing? Yes. I imagine they were delicious, nutritious, almost uniquely so, she muses. After all, they were designed for you. Rico has a mischievous look. At first I thought it was the location they were grown in that made the mushrooms from the aviary, from the labs, or from the grove different to each other. But what I've come to understand is it's the person growing them. Really? The Matsutake and Jiro caps you brought me are totally unique, containing compounds never usually found in similar specimens in my possession. Many of these compounds aren't even digestible for humans, but for a sleeper like you... Rico smiles as... Hang on a second. So I was using these mushrooms to give it to... What was that guy's name? The fungus cooker. And he was using them to make food for everyone that I was enjoying, but actually is probably poisonous to everyone. I killed everyone. I killed everyone on the eye. Good work, me. Rico smiles as she leads you into the internal garden of the commune, where the Haifa members have planted species from all over the Greenway. Back when the tide turned, when the Greenway started to recover, we all felt something, a response. It was as if this place was not just alive, as the forest is alive, but alive in other ways, communicative, responsive. We shrugged it off at the time, but now I understand why. Rico stops and turns to you. This place is responding to us, adapting itself to us. It is growing fruiting bodies for you, for me. It is adapting, changing. It is, in short, displaying all the signs of sentient. The Greenway is sentient? Perhaps not the Greenway, but the ecosystem itself, or something within it. Rico sits on a bench within the peaceful gardens and gestures for you to join her. Excuse me. When you've been growing the Girols and the Matsutakes in the aviary, those species so familiar to the Greenway, have you discovered any others? Yeah, I've got a clubhead cap, and we don't know where to put this one as well. Where does that go? Yes. Rico can barely contain her excitement. I should like to see those. Please bring me some the next time you're here. You look around the garden amazed at the sense of peace within it. Rico interrupts the silence. There is a species of mushrooms that I haven't seen in years. It is dark, short, shaped like a club. Like this one? We first found it in those early days when we were working to save this place. It was around the time that we started to lose our first members. They were succumbing to some kind of infection, some mold growing deep in the dark mulch that drowned this place. At that point we thought we were lost, and then these mushrooms emerged from that same black mold. We tested them and saw that they contained some compounds that counteracted the mold. They contained an antidote. Well done, Pasteur. Of course, as a botanist, I saw this as part of the natural processes of the ecosystem. Of this ecosystem, even if the timescale seemed absurdly short. But what I am wondering is if that antidote was a gift. Rico meets your eyes. Perhaps if you are patient, you will receive your gift too, Sleeper. You both sit for a while, Rico seemingly done telling stories for today. You watch the light playing off the leaves and plants around you and wonder what forces could be at play in this place. After a while you stand and leave with a quiet nod to Rico, leaving her to her memories. That was a fairly roundabout way of just saying, hey, magic mushrooms. Magic mushrooms. There we go, clubhead sample. Oh, really? Oh, really? Come on. Oh, we'll do one. Actually following a quest here? Yeah, help. I should be doing that. There we go. Eventually, hopefully, this will lead to being able to use the gardener seed here as well. I hope. More... They grow well here. Yeah, I don't remember where I got the club head. Surely... so we need to get the spore. Oh, let's do that. Neutral's fine. Neutral's fine. Oh, we might lose 1 energy. No, that's fine. Beautiful. Let's get as many of these as we can. For now. Hey, positive. Sweet as. One of those. Nope. 2 of those. And 3 of those. And then that turns into... Oh, really? 1, 2, 3. Oh, I'll be gone. I'll hopefully be gone. No. No. Okay, so I can't buy food from these people? I'm gonna have to go back to the other spot to buy food? Or is there food here? There's food here. No, but it's not good. It's not a good deal. The best deal is, I can never remember his name. I'm sorry, Emphas. You can see why I can never remember his name. Tricky name. Good food. Beautiful. And it's 20% off. Ah! Cooking with mushrooms now. Alright. I didn't need to go there, did I? I didn't need to go there at all. Alright, we still... I'll keep the stabilizer until... We might even keep the stabilizer right down. And just try and... interesting. Good. I'll have to think about that. I'll have to think about that. So that's another 4 days. Oh. Okay, Ankita. Ankita. Yeah, let's talk to Ankita. What was I doing? Let's get that one up. Find Ashton. Talk to Ankita about what happened. You spot Ankita on the track to the farm stack. She has a box on her shoulder and is working her way down the slope. She sees you as she approaches. Neither of you speak for a moment. She looks tired, pale, her hair is tangled, and clumps of dirt cling to her armor. You both eye each other. Ankita. She holds up a hand. Sleeper. She takes a deep breath. I'm sorry for what happened. Truly I am. She looks down. I'm sorry you ended up in the middle of this when all you have shown me is kindness. She rubs her face. I'm sorry. Stay silent. For that sleeper that she stares at the floor. I'm sorry. She looks up and away, not meeting your eye. Look, it's okay, I guess. I'm not going to judge you. I'm not a judge. It's okay. She nods, then looks up to the stars. She stops herself. Thank you. Ankita shifts the weight of the box on her shoulder. I've been preparing for... She grimaces. Look, she sighs. Can you come with me? It's easier if what? Now, lead on. Ankita leads on down the dirt path between the pillars. There is a wind passing through the greenway, a quirk of the air currents the biosphere maintains, and it ruffles the leaves softly. The sound makes the silence more obvious, more complete. You try not to think of the last time you were here. You have been trying not to think of it for the past few cycles. The image of the sleeper, sprawled, twisted open, connected to the ship mind, has been hard to forget. You realize Ankita is leading you back there, back into the drum at the center of the stack. You pause, trembling a little, at the threshold. She turns. What are you doing? She looks at you with empty eyes. What needs to be done? You stand on the threshold and look up at the tanks, green and wet, some glowing with flickering grow lamps. You look down at Ankita, suddenly so small under this hulking ruin. Small as she has ever looked, she places the box down. Follow in. You follow Ankita into the stack, through a low tank, entering the drum at ground level. It is just as beautiful as you remember, but it barely touches you. Instead, you check the apertures of the tanks for the glint of a weapon or a shadow among the moss. Ankita stops and you look down. The mossy island at the center of the tank is clear now, the equipment cleared away. In its place is a mound of dirt, loosely covered with moss. Ashton's rifle stands straight, half buried in the dirt at the grave's head. I buried them together, Ankita says without turning. You both stand there in silence for a little while. You think of questions you could ask about Ashton, about the sleeper. How long did you know him? She takes a moment to respond, and for a moment you think she won't, but then the words come gushing out. He signed on a while ago. He used to run recon for a corporate outfit, but he got sick of the pay. He joined the crew as a sniper, and the first few jobs were a breeze. He was so cold, disconnected. He always hit his marks. The last few jobs, though, he was different. I noticed that. We'd had a period of extended shore leave on the Eye, and when he came back, he was changed. I assumed he had just had too much time off. He was right. I would never have given him the ship mind. I wouldn't have believed him. I've had crew members double-cross me, undercut me, rat me out. That's the business. He wasn't a good person. None of us in this job are. This is how we die, alone. She stops, not sure of what to add. It seems like she's reaching for something, but she can't quite get there. You feel that gap between you, and as you do, it widens. The water drips, the moss trembles. You both stand in silence for a while longer. You both feel it. Life creeping back in. The silence ending. Ankita shifts her weight and then starts to walk out. You follow her, suddenly eager to be back out in the open space of the Greenway, to be away from this place forever. You stand outside and breathe the fresh air. You stare at the green leaves and the stars wheeling above them. That's it, says Ankita from somewhere behind you. You try to think of something to say, but can't. Ankita puts her hand on your shoulder. I thought she was about to shoot me in the back of the head. What is it? Catcher in the Rye style? Look at the flowers. I've never read the book. I only know it pop culturally. Look at the flowers. She's looking at the flowers at me. You turn back to her. At least take this. She forces a handful of cryo chits into your hand. It's what I owe. She looks at you desperately. You look down at the metal bars. Ugly little things, you think. I'll take your money. Fine. You take the chits and turn without saying a word. You continue up the track and she does not follow. As you walk up the rise, the wind picks up and the leaves shudder. You walk faster, trying to outpace your anger. The chits are heavy in your pockets, and you hate them for reminding you of how little a life is worth. Yes, give me your 30 pieces of silver. You murdered those people. At least the bad end. Found an old crewmate at the edge of the rim. Okay. 2 upgrade points. Yes, I might as well just do this. Agent nodes give double data aboard, so who cares? Or do I wait to get a 3 point? No, fuck it, let's just do it. Look how pretty that is. Done. Alright, so that was that. Double check I have to double check the ship. I'm pretty sure it's one more cycle, but I've been wrong before. One more cycle. Guess it would be a dumb idea to stop the stream now. Let's do another cycle. Actually, hang on, we've got to do some well, there's literally nothing I can do right now to forward anything, because that's going to take 3 more cycles. I guess we can make some energy. Actually, there's no point wasting a 5-star on that, because even losing you get ++. Let me just double check that. So 100% positive. 2 energy. Let's see what we get. I better give us positive just so we can't do the science. Neutral, also positive. So absolute waste, like just any die there and you get your energy back. So that's that. You save that for the bad die, basically, is what I should have done, which is not what I did. You suppose we're going to need more grove spores. Hard to tell. Look how much money we've got. So much money. The other half is work the stack. It's just money. I don't need the money. What else could I be unlocking here? Like stuff like this. That's just scrap components. I mean, they're going to be useful, I think. Depends on what that suggestion is. If, how do I put this? If it's likely I'm going to hit an end game screen in the next couple of, cycles, then I'll just want to continue so that we can finish this off today. If it's going to be another fucking 3 or 4 hours of game, then yeah, if that's the hint of your suggestion, then that's Yeah, I'm happy to hear that. Because there's nothing worse than going, I'm stopping the stream, starting the stream tomorrow, and ending the game within 10 seconds. You know, like that's annoying. So, if you think I'm probably near an end, feel free to say so. If you think there's probably a lot more to go, then I might just end the stream soonish. Do a little bit more. Here we go. I think I'm going to find out anyway. Let's go see what the boat is up to. The ship. The Sidereal. That's a complicated question to answer. Okay, cool. I'm expecting this to either give me an option to end things or not, you know? There's a crowd, but you spot Lem and Mina immediately as you enter the dock. They are waiting in the cordon where Cella security are checking the crew into board the ship. Those that manage to get up to the hub are crowded near the entrance, but even they know their chance of getting on board has long gone. Lem! Lem spots you among the crowd. Sleeper, we are here. They are standing beside a bag which looks to carry all the possessions they have. It's small enough to be carried in one hand. Hi, Mina. Mina is vibrating with excitement. She seems strangely at home in microgravity, but then you remember that she has spent her whole life in space. Hi, robot. You hand over the Chalice ID film to Lem, keeping your own. He turns it back and forth in the light. Where did your friend even get this picture, Sleeper? Looks like my old Conway ID. You look, and a shimmering, younger Lem stares out of the film, harder and clean cut. I spoke to the guard here, he nods to the white and green clad security officer. They'll be doing orientation and role assignment on board. Sounds like we're going to be working under the core crew. Kind of like an intern. He laughs. What do you think, Meanie? Am I too old to be an intern? Following Lem's lead, you inspect your ID. As you lift the film up to the light, you see something strange, something that makes you flinch. The face printed in the film is one you recognize immediately, but it's not you. At least, it is not how you look now. You squint at this ghost, confused why you hadn't noticed it earlier. It is a picture you remember being taken, a memory you didn't know you had. You remember signing the forms, the walk to the sleeper tanks, the cold metal floor. You remember the SNRP employee who helped you in, her smile clean and surgical. You freeze in place thinking of the you that still sleeps somewhere in an SNRP facility, that won't wake up until you're recovered and disposed of, and now you are leaving. Will they ever wake up? Sleeper, Lem interrupts your thoughts. These guys want us to board. You stare at him without thinking, then notice the guard gesturing to you both to come forward. You all kick off and float over to them, steadying yourselves on the guardrail. You hang back, letting Lem present his ID film first. The guard slides it across a white machine, much like the one Caster printed them from. You reflexively rub the puncture mark on your hand, even though there is no trace of it now. It seems to be your destiny to be someone else's tool. Lem and Mina are waved through, the guard smiling at her excited face. Lem turns back to check you are coming. The guard beckons you closer. Well, my plan was to board, so... board. You shake off your doubts and hand over your ID film. The guard barely looks at it as they English. The guard barely looks at it as they pass it through the scanner and wave you through. A new life built from old things. You okay, Lem asks, concerned as you catch up with them. You are so slow, robot, Mina teases, grabbing at you with small hands. I'm good. Lem nods and you realize how much harder it must have been for him to cross that threshold. Mina struggles in his arms, trying to get to you, and Lem relents, struggling with both the bag and his daughter. Mina tumbles through the microgravity and grabs onto your clothes for purchase, pulling herself into your arms. You all proceed up the walkway, the entrance to the docking bridge, yawning wide in above us. In above you. Yawning wide in above you. The entrance to the docking bridge, yawning wide above you. Sub-editors, man. They're all gone. Are we family, robot? Mina asks as you move, taking you by surprise. I guess so. Mina smiles and presses her head against your chest, pleased by your answer. You keep moving up into the docking bridge, then along that thin glass-walled connector, all the time Mina clutching onto you. The lack of gravity means you can't feel her weight, only the grip of her small hands on your clothes. You both stare wide-eyed at the vast hull of the sidereal horizon and try to think of this huge machine as a home. Later, when you settle in your bunk after Mina has finished running back and forth between you and Lem with an endless and infectious excitement, you find yourself looking at your ID film once more. Somehow, since the last time you looked at it, the image seems to have changed. It is still a picture of the old you, the person that signed up to have their consciousness copied and placed into the ownership of SNR, but something else has crept into the image, an underlying sense of self-identification. This is also a picture of you. You, now. The you that survived the eye, that made friends here, that found a way out, that escaped against all odds. The other you might never wake up, they might never live again, but so be it. They consigned you to a doomed life for their own gain. Their life is yours now. You will live it better than they ever could. You lie back on your bunk as the thrust of the sidereal's vast engines kick in. This feeling, this rumble, will be your constant companion for the next decades. It will be there when you work, when you watch Mina grow, when you dream of the planet at the end of the journey. It will stay with you when your body starts to fail, despite the best attempts of Lem and Mina, as the years stack up and it exceeds its safe operating period by a decade. It will be the thing you wake up to in those rare moments of consciousness, between which Mina will keep you in a frozen state in the hope of preserving you until your destination is reached. It will still be there when Mina wakes you, tears in her eyes, to tell you of Lem's inevitable death. Jesus, this is dark. And it will not relent despite your desire for moments of silence. It will be the final thing you hear as Mina shuts down all but the most vital of your functions and hopes beyond hope that you make it to your final destination, all the while doubting that you will. But for now, in this moment of departure, it is still a new sound, a new feeling, and because of this, it is filled with the promise of the future. And so, you settle back on your bunk and close your eyes, and in moments you are sleeping a perfect, dreamless sleep, the most peaceful that you can ever remember. Boom. Great. Great, I'm not crying, you're crying. The onions. The damn onions. I have questions. I have questions though. How are they curing me of... I need the fucking drugs for the condition, right? And how did the guy letting me on not notice that my picture was a human being and I'm a robot? What? What? Anyway, those are my only questions. Good stuff. Good stuff. You know? Clap. Clap. I don't think I have the clap thing on my channel. I don't know how to add it. I have never really... I think it's Better TV or Rankin TV or whatever it is. Now we're sitting through the credits. Always sit through the credits. These people spent years, all their hard-earned time and, well, money, I guess, to make this for us. But bravo! Bravo, jump over the age. Excellent. I love games like that. I love story games. I really do. That was cool. I'm going to see if it's now possible to not end the game there, and because obviously there must be other endings, but also that might be the old me that does that, because yeah, I used to be a completionist. I don't know that I am now. But let's just see what happens if we continue, right? I assume it's just going to put us back before getting on the ship, so we could do other things if we wanted to, but then also kind of like, I made my choice. That was my story, you know? A bit like Outer Wilds. You just... I don't know if you've ever seen the Outer Wilds speed run where they do it in like 10 minutes. That has a completely different story. Yeah, so you can then continue. I don't know where it saved it, but probably before going to here, right? So that might be it for Citizen Sleeper. Yeah, there we go. So that's where it saved it. Interesting, interesting. Let's do a quick... While I'm here, what am I going to do next? That's the real question. Let's do that. Let's bring this up. I wish I knew I could go back after an ending. Stuck with the eye at every junction because I didn't want to miss any content. Yeah. And I'm guessing I did something you've already seen, because... Still some great story. Yeah, I might do it off stream kind of thing. I sort of feel like, you know, now this is locked in. That was the run that I did. That's what's going to get saved to the VODs. And yeah, like I'm going through what else have I got here? So that was that one. I want to play Signalis, Frog Detective. I don't even know what that is. Probably won't go back to Plague Tale. I'm not going to lie. I loved the first game. I loved it. And I'm not loving the second game. I'm like 4 chapters in and it's just too much of the same. Jump over there for In Other Waters. Yeah, I wonder if that's on Game Pass. No, but I'll look for it. I've got a little bit of Steam money that might... Let me go find that on Steam then. And I will wishlist it. Because yeah, I love good writing games, really do. In Other Waters. $6! Jesus Christ. Oh my god, it's 70% off. How long is this sale on? How do I... There it is. Wishlist. Done. Offer ends in 24 hours. Okay. Okay. I'll think about that. I'll think about that because again, I've got like a backlist of a bunch of things that I want to play on Game Pass before they get knocked off. Pentiment I've heard's really good. Norco I've heard is really, really good. I don't know why I've got Lapin. I don't know, a 2D platform playing a rabbit. I have no idea why I've got that on my wish list. In fact, done. There's too many games to play. We can't be... Somerville, I think, looks pretty good. Return to Monkey Island, definitely. I'd love to play the Star Wars... I don't know what'll be next. I don't know what'll be next. Probably just in order, I guess. That'll be the next one. Classic survival horror experience. No, I already got rid of what... No, because I was reading the reviews of this. Apparently it's pretty good, but there was some reason why I didn't want to, yeah, why is it still on my wish list? It shouldn't be. I thought I got rid of it. Remove from play later. There we go. I forget now. There was definitely something I thought, no, I don't really want to play that. Apparently it gets crap later on or something, you know? Good idea not, you know. Unpacking's probably just for a chill stream one day. Unpacking a simulator, that's weird. Maybe it'll be Pentiment. I hear mixed things. Some people say this is the best thing ever in the history of ever. And some people say it is rubbish. So I might do that one next. How long to beat? Let's see. That helps as well. 14 hours. So take about a week if I stream every day. Which I probably won't, but you know. About a week of streaming. About 7 days. Or something like that. Anyway, maybe Pentiment next. We'll see. We will see. Alright, well that was Citizen Sleeper. Flern, thank you for being along for the ride. I appreciate that. You helped me, you definitely helped me appreciate this game by helping me along the way and not making... Well, no, actually, you know, you didn't spoil anything. I appreciate that. And but you did sort of go, hey, this is how that works, like mechanics things, stuff that you would find in the manual. That was great. Thank you, Flern. I will try to have a great time zone. I hope you do too. Thanks for watching. Thank you for existing. Au revoir. Goodbye. Jesus. Who's... Yes! We're doomed! Oh no, we're not doomed. No, we're doomed!